All right, my friends, we're going to do a quick rundown of some of the video apps that I discussed in our Tech Tuesday letter. I'm going to do a quick screen share and take you out to that. If you're not part of our school, you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, you can find this on my blog, The True Adventures of an Instructional Tech Facilitator, or at www.nickidrobertson.com. And it's right there. And we're going to be talking today about harnessing the power of BYOD video apps in your classroom, because sometimes this can be quite an annoying thing to have. Students don't always use their phones responsibly, especially with video, and things happen. So I think this might be something really good for you to take a look at if you're in a BYOD situation, or period if you're in school. Kids, whether you allow them to have cell phones or not, they have their cell phones, and videos are going to be made and videos are going to be posted to the internet. And so we need to know how to harness this and how to deal with those violations of acceptable use policy in a positive way that's going to be a win-win for everyone involved. So with that said, I'm going to take us off a screen share. And the first thing that I mentioned in the Tech Tuesday writing was about the new app, or fairly new app, Periscope. So let me open that up on my phone. And I've been having a lot of fun with Periscope. So let's see if you can see this. And if I can, so crazy. And Periscope is calling me right now to let me know that, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. 4th grade is presenting at Red Bank Elementary in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay, and so right here on Periscope, anyone who I'm following on Twitter who's also on Periscope, I have it set up right now to notify me whenever they're broadcasting, and if I have time or want to, I can check in and watch the broadcast live. And that's pretty cool, and it's a great way to connect your students with the real world and get feedback from more than just classmates and a teacher. So I could come in here and say, teaching my teachers about Periscope with your broadcast. And so you can see I've typed that in. And when I'm done, then I'm going to hit that blue send button down there. And so their teacher and the kids will be able to see what I have said. Now, with that said, you do have trolls who are going to say things that are inappropriate, so you do need to look out for that. There's also a feature here where you can see the number of people who are watching this live, and you can see 3 people are watching this live right now. And if someone really likes it, they can click like that and send hearts. And that lets the person know that you like their presentation. And this lighting is not working for us very well here, but I'm trying to let you see that there's a map down there too that shows the location. It comes in and out. All right, so what if you wanted to start your own Periscope in class just like this 4th grade teacher did? Then what you'll need to do is, of course, download the app. And then you'll come in, and you do need a Twitter account because it connects through your Twitter. We're going to turn on Periscope. And you can see here's all the live shows that are going on right now with Periscope. Now, let me preface it by saying it scares me to click any of these live shows, because live shows are anybody. It's not just people I follow, so it could be any pervert out there. Rude. So it could be anyone out there. So I never open any of these live shows because I just don't want to see what might be on the other side of that. So the only time I open them is if I know that it's a friend of mine from Twitter. But if we scroll down past the live, I wish I could get this light better. If we go down past the live, you're going to see recordings, because you can broadcast live without recording, or you can record so that you have this later. And so, like, for instance, David Fanning was just at our school this morning, so I was recording David Fanning with the Periscope app, and I must not have my location services turned on because I don't see the map down there. And so we can come back, and if it's going to cooperate with me, which my internet with my phone has been a little iffy because I'm on the school's BYOD. And so it's taking a minute to load is what's going on there. And so we can come back. Oh, right, as soon as I close it out, it does it. Let's try that again. Mrs. Impatient. And so it does take a minute to load because it is video. And so, unlike me, you might want to be patient. So come on, David Fanning. Let's see what you did today at our school. And of course, my impatience is going to get the better of me. But you can go there and you can watch broadcasts that you might have missed during the day and have those there. Of course, I'd probably be on a stronger Wi-Fi. This looks interesting. Hong Kong Peak morning hike. So before I turn it towards the camera, since I don't know this one, I'm going to take a look at it. And see, this one's showing up a little bit better now than that other one, but it's still loading, because see the lines at the top? It's still loading. And again, depending on how long the video is, it might take a longer amount of time to actually load, just like with any other video. But then if there's people posting things like this, like I got to see a llama sheared the other day, and I got to see an alpaca. And so students could actually connect with experts, ask them questions, and actually see things in real time. So that's one of the cool things about using Periscope. Plus, it also helps connect your students with the real world. And again, I'm being horribly impatient. We can see there's the map down at the bottom. I'm going to try it one more time. But we need to go on because we've got other apps to look at. Okay. So those are some of the different apps, different things that we can do. Oh, here's one, students brainstorming for argumentative essay. Now that's down here at the bottom, but notice there's no play button next to it. That means it was broadcast live, but it wasn't recorded. And so we can't go back and see that discussion, but I think that's a great idea as well. All right. So what if we wanted to make our own in the class? Again, you download the app, connect it with your Twitter account, and then down here on the bottom, you have 3 buttons. The TV buttons where you can watch what other people have done. You have this button over here that's kind of like your profile and people you follow. And then right in the middle, this is where you could set up your broadcast. And so it says, where are you, what are you seeing now? And so what I'm going to do is put on here Tech Tuesday training. And it helped if I spelled Tuesday right. All right, so I've typed in Tech Tuesday training. There is a button down here that says Start Broadcast, so I'm going to click Start Broadcast. Notice it's telling me that we are now live on air, and right now I have 0 viewers, which is perfectly fine. It just started up. I can turn the camera around by double-clicking, and so now it's actually showing us on the computer. And so I can also tap and turn it back around, and now it's showing my cup. All right, and so notice down here we can see who's joined us. We've got 5 people, well, 4 people now watching, getting some hearts. Thank you for the love. And so this is basically how you do it, and then you would just aim this at your kids. And I did see last week a person who was using swivel. If you're not familiar with swivel, it's perfect. Oh, hi from Toronto. Very nice. Thank you for joining in. This is our Tech Tuesday recording for my school. We're doing our Tech Tuesday was about harnessing the power of video apps in your classroom and teaching students how to use those apps responsibly instead of recording videos that are inappropriate and posting them to social media. So our first app we're showing today is Periscope. So now we're going to go ahead, and we have 8 viewers, and I'm going to say goodbye to you because we have to go on now. And we're going to show Snapchat, and we're going to talk about Vine and Instagram. So if you want to join me from Periscope and hop on over to Google Plus Hangouts, Nikki D. Robertson, that is where I will continue this podcast. Oh, excellent. I see Instatech Talk. Love the podcast. He just did one. So that's fabulous. I love the feedback that we're able to get from this. So again, hop over to Google Hangouts. Look for the event today, Tech Tuesday demo of video apps with Nikki D. Robertson, and you can continue to watch the tutorial on preparing for my teachers. All right, so once we're done recording and we're no longer going to be recording or broadcasting with Periscope, I can simply swipe down. I now get an option to stop this recording. So now the recording is stopped and it's going to load and be available for people to watch later. So I can go ahead and go on to a different app. So the next app, and let me double check. Okay. The next apps I discussed are Vine and Instagram. Those are ones a lot of people might be familiar with and probably have already used in their classrooms if they're a little more tech savvy. So I'm going to come over, and Vine is, let me make sure, you only have 6.5 seconds, but Instagram videos allow you 15 seconds of video. Oh, how cute, John Shue. So this is John Shue talking about Deborah Friedman. It's just a little video. And so you can stop these. Oh, here's some more videos from John Shue. Awesome. Oh, here's John Shue working with kids. Is that not awesome? And so you can do kind of like stop animation, motion movies. So let's take a look at how that works. Oops. Well, it helps if I show you down at the bottom. Down at the bottom, you have a menu. And I'm going to click on that video menu that you see in green, and that's going to start us recording. Well, get us into where we're recording. And so now what I have to do is I will click and hold, and see that green bar across the top? And I can let go. Hold it, let go. Hold it, let go. Hold it, let go. Hold it, let go. And so every time I hold and let go, that's stopping and starting the video. So great for stop animation type things, or when you have kids doing parts in a play and you don't want to have that lag time because you only have 6.5 seconds. So I'm going to finish this out. And click and hold, and see that green bar? Go. Hold it, hold it. So I'm going to click and hold, and see that green bar? And it will do a continuous loop. And now they also have a place for you to be able to edit, which will make it easier to edit if you need to edit something else. You can go through and you can edit some of those clips so that you can get rid of something and then add something else in. Also, notice this, when I click and hold, I can drag it. So if I want a clip to be in a different place, I can do that as well. Isn't that cool? I love it. And so then when I'm all done with it, if I want to save that, I can click that save button in the corner. But because this is just crazy and it's the empty room behind me, I'm just going to click cancel. All right. So that's got the preview there for me. And then I can exit out. Now there's lots of, and I'm going to say discard because I don't want to save it for later. Now there are lots of different menu items down there, but that's kind of the basics of using Vine. So I'm going to close out Vine. And the next video app I'm going to bring up is Instagram. So I bring up Instagram. And, ooh, how pretty. Right? So, I keep forgetting to show you. So down at the bottom, again, we have a menu. Again, we're going to hit right there in the middle. And we have a choice of whether we want to just snap pictures. And then we have our different types of settings that we can do, filters and so forth. Or I have a video button. And so I can click on that video button. When I'm ready, I can record. If I want to flip the camera around, I can flip the camera around, and it is us. And I'm going to click, oh, it's telling me I have to record for at least a certain amount of time before I can go on and click that next. So we're going to sit here and talk to ourselves. Oh, it's saying press and hold to, okay, I had to press and hold to record. Each one of these has a little bit different thing that you have to do with them in order to get them to record. And so we're just going to press and record. And once we've recorded what we want to record, we can go up to the next. Thing that you have to do with them. I can also add filters to this if I would like, as well as do some other things here. And then I can come in and write a caption. I can add a photo map if I want to, and I can then share this out with Facebook, Tumblr, or Twitter if I have those done. And then I click the share button down here. But again, because this is all amateur, I'm just going to come in and keep going backwards, and I'm going to put discard. And for those of you who are saying, oh no, our iPhone 6 Plus is broken, no, that's just the cover, because believe me, I would be crying if it was broken. All right, so the next app, and let me double check again to make sure, okay, is Snapchat. And so you're thinking, Snapchat? Who's going to use Snapchat? But I thought the same thing, and then I attended an ed camp in Madison, and there was a Spanish teacher there that used Snapchat with her kids. And she would send them out a picture or a word written in Spanish, and they would have to respond back in English, or vice versa. She'd send it out in Spanish, and they'd have to respond back in English. I might have said that wrong, but I think you understand. So there are lots of things, and again, it's on that Tech Tuesday handout, are a lot of ideas that I gathered from the internet. But again, for Snapchat, and I haven't really done a lot of Snapchat or played with it, and I just put it back on my phone this morning, actually. So the Snapchat app is that one that looks, it's the yellow square with the white ghost. And Snapchat supposedly is something that sends out pictures or videos, and then they disappear, and you can't get caught. But kids think that, but you can actually find that stuff again. Nothing you put online is ever gone, ever. It's going to have you sign up, or log in. I'm pretty positive that I have an account, because I think I set up so many apps, because whenever anything comes across that I think, oh, let me check this out and see if this is something my teachers could use, then I go ahead and do that. And so apparently I have not signed up. But let me take you back while I sign up. I'm going to do a screen share with you again. And again, I'm sorry I wasn't more prepared. This was really interesting about Snapchat, and I love George Couros, and I know I'm saying his name wrong, but I adore and love him. But he also was like me. He was like, well, I don't understand why you would use Snapchat. And then he watched this video, and he said, well, okay, that just makes all the sense in the world, because there's a thing called stories now that you can do a Snapchat. And again, I just downloaded this again this morning, and the stories look really interesting. There is some slight profanity to this, so if you are showing this to students right now or you have the sound up, you might want to turn the sound down.
Teachers, please ignore the bell that's about to ring. We need to get a few more people through lunch, and we'll let you know when to change class.
Every day. Like, when do I not use Snapchat? Breakfast, lunch.
Every couple of years, a new platform shows up and is quickly declared the future of social media. Let me explain. First, there was Friendster. Then MySpace showed up, got rid of Friendster. Facebook came along and took out MySpace. Then Instagram showed up, but was bought off by Facebook for $1 billion. And now there's Snapchat. Facebook tried to buy Snapchat for a reported $3 billion, but Snapchat refused.
How big does this pile have to be?
Now there's a new gangster in town.
Say my name.
Snapchat?
You're goddamn right.
I live on Snapchat. I have Snapchat stories all the time. I absolutely love Snapchat. I check Snapchat often because people send me like 100 stories. No, 100 seconds worth of snaps.
You see, Snapchat was known as a messaging app used to send naked pictures that would disappear. But that was before they introduced a feature called Stories. Tell me about Stories.
Sure. All right. Well, I dig how you can just make a Snapchat of your day throughout. You put it to your story, and you could just let your friends live your day with you.
Stories are a daily log of pictures and quick videos. You can add as many of these snaps to your story as you want, but each lasts 24 hours, then it disappears. The reason why this is a $10 billion big deal is that no one has yet to figure out video on mobile. Not Instagram, not YouTube, and definitely not Facebook. You see, it's never been about just sharing a moving image. It's about giving people an easy way to tell a story.
It's kind of like live action. Like you see exactly what you're doing when you're doing it, so you can't like lie or be like, oh no, I posted this yesterday. Like it's right. Everything's like in the moment. I like that.
Because the stories disappear, there's a sense of urgency, fueling an almost compulsive need to post more. This is my friend Jerome Jar.
It's Jerome Jar.
Jerome has a huge social media following. And in the 2 weeks since he's joined Snapchat, he's posted 7 stories, and 1 million of his followers have found him on the platform. You could call him the king of Snapchat, although he doesn't like that title. Jerome is going to send out a Snapchat story, a Snapchat video, and get people to show up in Union Square and meet us, right?
Yes. I hope we get 20 people.
So that was the idea. Post a story to Snapchat asking folks to meet us in Union Square. And that's how we'd source people to interview for this movie. Okay, so when you push this button, this is going to go to 1 million phones.
Yeah.
All right, so you can go back and watch that video on your own, but now signed into Snapchat like I should have been previously, and let me take you back to that beginning. So we'll come and we'll click on Snapchat, and it takes me right in here, and it says tap to take a photo or hold to take a video. So then it's going to ask me, can we use your location? And I decide yes or no. Can we access your location? And then I can tap here and add a caption. And I'm just going to say Tech Tuesday. And that puts that caption on there for me. And so now at the bottom I have some choices. So I can decide how many seconds I want people who I send this picture to be able to see it. I can decide whether I want it to access my photos. And let's see, do I want to add this to my stories? And I think that's really where we can bring this into education, is with the stories feature. And I'm going to say add to my stories. And so you can see that my story has started and I can continue to work on that story. And so already with the teachers I know who are watching this, your brains are spinning right now going, oh, stories, this would be great. So you have that feature there as well. Again, you have the camera turnaround feature that you can do with this too. So you have that convenient there. Let me show you this. So down here in the corner, you have these 3 little lines. And then you can click up here at the top on that circle, and it takes you to other stories, like Food Network is doing a story, National Geographic has stories started. And so again, great educational tools you can bring in, especially with that National Geographic, and you can watch and see what their stories are and have those examples for your kids to be able to follow. So I think that's really awesome that places like National Geographic and so forth are getting in on this, and it's taking a minute to load those pictures. So mess around with it, play with things, see what it is you can discover, and then share that information with the rest of us. I'd love it if, as you play around with this, you would go back out to our Tech Tuesday write-up, harnessing the power of BYOD video apps in your classroom, and then come down to the bottom and leave us a comment of how you've been using different video apps in your classroom. So please, here we go to Periscope. Let's see, working on collaborative, persuasive essays with Google Docs. I love Google Docs, and there's my friend Sarah Thompson. Let me tell you, Sarah was so funny last week. She was driving quite a way with a friend of hers in her car, and they were doing like karaoke and all kinds of fun stuff using Periscope. Talking about you and showing off your Periscope broadcast on Google. She'll know what this is if I shorten it. So I did GHO for Google Hangouts on Air, and she's doing Google right now. She's a Google guru, so she's going to know. And so her kids are working on their Google documents right now. And sometimes you do lose the connection depending on their Wi-Fi. And so you can see that they have their different devices. I saw some kids with cell phones, some with tablets, some with laptops. But because Google is device agnostic, you can use it very effectively in a BYOD school. And she's going around and interviewing her students. And you can see that the broadcast has now ended. Okay, well, I guess that's all for us. You all know here at our school, if you have any questions and you want to use some of these ideas in your classroom, I'm always available for one-on-one PD sessions or conferencing, as well as small group conferencing. Just email me and let me know day and time, and I will make sure to work it into the schedule so that we can get you started with using video apps in a responsible manner. Because again, every single school, when devices come into the school and we allow students to use them in BYOD, or even when we don't allow them to use them, every school has to deal with students who use these devices irresponsibly. And it is simply our duty as educators to take and turn that into a learning experience. Banning those devices, not allowing those devices anymore because of a few students who are not using them in the proper manner, does not teach anything, does not prepare them for the real world. And we are ignoring and actually hurting our kids to not address the issue. to simply ban something is to hurt our children. We have to take the mistakes here in school and teach our kids, because when they make mistakes in school, they're in a safe place. When they get out in the real world, it's not going to be safe. They'll lose their jobs. They could even get criminal records. So we have to take the opportunity now to let students use these devices to make the mistakes and then address those mistakes in a win-win situation. And I have some suggestions on the blog that can help you with this. So thank you very much for tuning in.